Hello everyone, I'm using Microsoft Word 2013. I've inserted the picture and notice how this picture shows you the student using his clinometer. You can also see the measuring tape at a certain distance from the object that he's measuring, and this is the way that I would like your pictures to look, that everything on there is visible. And now we're going to insert a triangle so that the triangle that we are calculating can be visible in your picture. So once you've inserted your picture into your document, you go to your Insert tab here and you're going to go to Shapes. In Shapes, you're going to find your right triangle. There are two triangles here. You have the isosceles triangle and the right triangle. Choose the right triangle and place it right here to where the student is standing and more or less reach the top of the object that he's measuring. Notice that this triangle is not in the direction that I want it to be. So go to Rotate. You're going to flip it horizontally and now it's in the direction that we need it. Notice that this triangle is also a solid color and we want it to be transparent. So go to Shape Fill and choose No Fill. And you see now you can see through the triangle. Also notice that the outline of the triangle is too light. It's too fine, too thin. So I want to make these lines of the triangle thicker, and you do that by going to Shape Outline and you go to Weight, and here you're going to choose about 3 points and that makes it thicker. You can see the change automatically. This color, I'd like to make it brighter, so you go again to Shape Outline and you choose the color that you want. Here's a nice yellow or red. Let's do red. Okay, so your triangle is ready. You can move your triangle around if you select your triangle. You can move it around, see? And you can also adjust it. Here I see that it's too far out, so let's make it a little bit smaller. There it is. Okay, there you have your triangle. Now I want to go ahead and insert another shape. I want to insert a square here that marks or lets people know that this is a right triangle. So go back to Insert, Shape, and choose the rectangle. And once you do that, you can insert your rectangle right there, showing that this is a 90-degree triangle. You can make this like that. And notice it's also a solid color. So again, we go to Shape Fill and we eliminate the fill. But again, the borders are too thin. Let's make them thicker, as thick as the triangle we drew originally. And there it is. And we can also change the color. I'm going to change it to mustard yellow. There it is. Now I'm going to show you how to insert text so we can label our triangle. To insert text, I like to go to Insert Shape for this. And when you hit Insert Shape, there it is. There's the text box. So you choose the text box, and I'm going to draw a text box underneath here to show the distance that the student is standing from the object. Let's say this is the 8 feet measure. There it is, 8 feet. I'm going to highlight 8 feet because I want to make this a bold, and I want to increase the font size also. 16 or 18 is fine. I'll choose 16. Notice how this text box also has a solid fill. So when the text box is selected, automatically you'll get this Format tab. In the Format tab, again, go to Shape Fill and choose No Fill. Now the box is transparent, but it has an outline. So we're going to eliminate the outline by choosing No Outline. And there you just have a box with a number, and you can't see a fill, and you can resize it and you don't see anything but just the numbers. If you don't like the color black, you can also change the color for your label. You could use red, whatever color you want, okay, green, whatever suits you. There it is. I'll have it blue. Okay, and now we're gonna insert another text box. So Insert Shape, text box, and now I'm going to place it inside of the triangle because this one's going to show my angle. So I'm going to write 53 degrees, and now I want my degree symbol, which you find when you go here to Insert tab, symbol, and notice that this is my degree sign. If you don't find it, go to more symbols. Mine shows up because I use it often, and there it is. Again, this text box shows a solid background, so go to your Format tab, go to your Shape Fill and choose No Fill, and also you want to choose No Outline. And you can increase, you can highlight your text, and you can make it bold. You can increase the font to 16 like that, and you can change the color if you want to. If you don't want it to be black, you could do red or yellow. Yellow looks nice here. There it is. Okay, and you can again select your text box and move it around to make it fit better. And that is how you insert your triangle into your picture that you've inserted into this document. The next thing you need to know how to do is you can, for your calculations, I want you to have your triangle right there present before you start calculating. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy all of this stuff that I've inserted here by holding the Shift key. Hold your Shift key down, and your cursor you're going to place on top and click the elements that you want to copy. So here I'm clicking all of the elements that I want to copy. I release my Shift key. I hit my right mouse button, and notice you get an option to copy. So I'm going to hit copy. And now I'm going to right click my mouse again, and I'm going to hit paste. And there I have a copy of this triangle. Drag it, select it, and drag it down like this, and all the elements will move together right there. Okay? And notice that my 53 degrees has moved a little bit, so I'm going to shift it a little bit like this. Okay, and there you have a copy of your triangle. Now what you want to do is insert your formula. So here's my cursor right here. I'm going to hit enter a couple of times so that I'm underneath the triangle. And right there, I'm going to go to Insert Object. When you hit Insert Object, a menu comes up. You're going to choose Microsoft Equation 3.0. You're going to double click on that, and you get this math type equation. And what you're going to do is you're going to write your formula. Tangent of 53 is equal to, and now you need a fraction. So I'm going to use this menu here, and I'm going to choose that first option for fraction. And in the numerator, I'm going to write 8 feet, which is the distance that is opposite the angle 53. And underneath in the numerator, you access it by clicking on it, you're going to write x, which is the distance that you're measuring or the height. Now you go to File, and you go to Close and Return, and you hit yes, and this formula, notice how it appears inside your document. You can click on it, you can resize it if you want to the size that you want, and there it is. Now you want to solve this formula. You have the option of inserting another object, Microsoft Equation 3, separate from this one, or you can just edit this one by double clicking like this. You double click on it, and you can just hit return, and in your next step you can show the next step, which is cross multiplying by x, and then hitting equals 8, and then in your next step you can show that x will equal 8. Whoops, insert your fraction. Before you do that, insert a fraction, because now you're going to have a division. You can write 8 over tangent of 53. Okay, and then you can move your cursor to the side by one spot using your cursor keys here to the right, like that. And once your cursor appears like this, if your cursor is inside of the fraction in the numerator or down here in the denominator, you can't hit enter. You have to make sure your cursor is right at the end of your fraction like that. You can hit enter, and you can calculate x is equal to, and write your answer here. I don't have a calculator right now, so I'm going to leave that to you. And then you hit File, Close and Return to Document, yes, And there you have, and since this is a big equation, it has scrolled down to the bottom page. Now you can resize it, you can make it smaller or bigger, whatever you want. And if you need to bring it up to this other page, you can right-click your mouse, you can say Format Object, you can go over here to Layout, and in front of text. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to move your work around like that. It's you're at the liberty of shifting your work. You can put it here in the center or anywhere you want. And there you have your calculations. And what you're going to do is you're going to do this 3 times. You're going to use this formula 3 times. One's going to say 8, the other one's going to say 10, the other one's going to say 12. And then for your next picture, exactly the same thing. You're going to draw your triangle on it, etc. And notice that this picture has various things. It has him standing right in front. This is a shot taken from the side. You can see the measuring tape on the ground. I want to see that. You can see the clinometer in his hand, and you've inserted certain elements here. So I want to see every picture look like this. And you're only going to show me 1 picture per object. You choose the measure that you're going to show me here. You can choose 8, 10, or 12 to show me here. It doesn't matter. And then you're going to have your triangle for 8 feet. You're going to have a second triangle for 10 feet and the new angle measure. You're going to have your third triangle for 12 feet and your new angle measure. And every triangle will be accompanied by its calculation. Okay? If you have any questions or doubts, please email me. I'll see you. Have fun.